Hello guys, this is the Genshin guy, and for today this is going to be a Kujou Sara guide video. So Kujou Sara is a really nice 4-star buffer who can really take your team's damage to the next level. So for today this guide will be a detailed guide unlike the other two guides which were quite short. I will talk about Sara's kit, her best weapons, artifacts, playstyles and her constellation. So at C0 using her elemental skill puts a crow feather cover on her which reduces her aim shot charge time by 60% for one shot, and when you fire the charged shot she leaves behind a crow feather which, when explodes, grants nearby characters an attack buff based on her attack.
License!
So her normal attacks are nothing too special, just 5 arrows that deal physical damage. But her elemental skill and burst are the main part of her kit which makes her so good. So her elemental skill works like I demonstrated, where she gains a crow feather cover and when firing an aim shot leaves it on the ground, and when it explodes grants your characters an attack buff. This attack buff scales with Sara's own attack, and her burst does the same thing, but what makes her burst OP is that it deals a massive amount of AoE electro damage while buffing your character. Now at C2 your playstyle with Sara will change, but we will get into the constellations later. So let's talk about her ascension skills. So her level 70 ascension skill reduces her aim shot charge time by 60%, but her first ascension skill will restore 1.2 energy to your party members for every point of energy she has over 100 when her elemental skill crow feather hits an enemy or buffs a character, which is really good. And her last passive will reduce her exploration time in Inazuma for expeditions, which is nothing too special, but it's alright. Now for her playstyles at C0 you're going to use her skills and do an aim shot to get the buff, or use her burst, but at C2 you can just use her skill and swap to the character you want to buff as it leaves behind the crow feather without needing to charge shot. So for her weapons, her best weapons is going to be Skyward Harp, as it has really solid crit rate and crit damage at R1, but also has a high base attack which is essential for her buff. You can also use other weapons like Thundering Pulse, which has a lot of crit damage, or Amos Bow if you have good crit damage and just want attack, but I recommend using Skyward Harp. As for her 4-star options, you can use Stringless, as it will increase your elemental skill and burst damage by 48%. You can use other weapons like Rust or Fave Bow, but I recommend using Stringless for 4-star, and for 5-star you can use Skyward Harp. Now for your artifacts, her best in slot is the 4-piece Noblesse Oblige or 2-piece Noblesse and 2-piece Emblem, but I recommend using 4-piece Noblesse, but it's based on your substats. Now for your stats, you're going to want electro damage bonus on your goblet and attack percent on your sands and crit rate or crit damage on your helmet, and for substats you're going to want crit rate, crit damage, attack percent and energy recharge on all pieces. Let's talk about her constellations. Her C1 reduces her elemental skill cooldown by 1 second when it hits an enemy or buffs a character, and can occur once every 3 seconds. Her C2 will leave behind a crow feather when she uses her skill without needing to charge shot, which we already covered. C3 just increases her burst talent level by 3 levels, and her C4 will grant her 2 more storm clusters when using her elemental burst. If you didn't understand, then here is an explanation. Her C5 will increase her elemental skill level by 3 levels, and her C6 is the most OP constellation, because whenever she buffs a character, that character will receive 60% electro crit damage, which makes her Raiden's best buffer.
全力攻撃だ。
浄土開口せし永遠なる鳴神なり。
Hopefully you were able to get some useful information from this guide. Also you can comment down below which character guide you want next. But that's all for today, see you later.